Lawmakers' attempt to be woke backfires horribly and destroys her erection chances. A Canadian candidate for Ontario's parliament humiliatingly dropped out of her race after her rival party shared a clip of her declaring, "My secret is I want to be a black woman." Well, now it's no longer a secret, and now the entire world knows. Congratulations. Amanda Zavitz, a self-professed DEI advocate who was running as the NDP party's candidate in Ontario's upcoming election to represent Elgin Middlesex London District, was heard on the clip shared by the PC party declaring her secret. "I want to be an expert in inequality with lived experiences of poverty and living in addiction and alcoholism," she said. What part of any of that do you need to be black for? Like, holy shit, how insulting. Like, is she implying that apparently only black people can live in poverty with addiction and alcoholism problems? Whoa, no fucking wonder she tanked her fucking career. All right, now you know what she thinks of you. I didn't know that. Apparently, you have to be black to be in poverty and living with addiction and alcoholism, according to this woman. All right. Never mind that if she really wanted to, she could have done all that herself. I want to be able to share my ideas without the barrier of looking the way that I do. Now, that's why a lot of these rich white liberals just hire black women as mouthpieces. Could have just done that, but nope, that would be too easy. Well, before she dropped out, Zavitz addressed the controversy in a Facebook post saying she made the remarks during a presentation to the UN Commission on the status of women's in March of current year -1. Oh, it was literally like a year ago, guys. I'm a different person now. As part of an exercise that was intended to unpack our biases, I made a comment I understand was harmful, she said. "I apologize unequivocally for the remark and any harm it caused. As a professor of sociology and women's studies," so bloat, "I've made it my entire life's work to amplify the voices of marginalized communities." If you run with this crowd, you will be canceled with this crowd. I think it's only fair. It's funny. So Zavitz followed up the post hours later, saying she was withdrawing from the race after further reflection and discussions with community members. No, I think it was more discussions with the party. The party was like, "Bitch, you're fucking embarrassing us. There is no way you're going to be able to win. You're going to damage us all. Just go away." It has become clear that my past comments are distracting from the critical task of defeating Doug Ford and erecting an Ontario NDP government, she said in the post. Oh, so you're starting to realize that you're the problem, huh? All right. So Zavitz was running to represent Elgin Middlesex London in Ontario's legislature, which is holding snap erections this a year earlier than expected after Shady's premier Doug Ford called them early. Running against Ford's regressive conservative party as... What? You know what? It's got to be a Canadian thing. I'm not even going to try to understand that name. They're naming, like how in Japan the Liberal Democrats are the right-wing party. Whatever. I just you just got to accept that different countries name things way differently. Zavitz had been sharing images of her campaigning in snow-packed Ontario earlier this week, but saw her hopes dashed Wednesday as the PC party shared her remarks on Twitter. In parts of her comments to the UN conference that were not heard in the clip posted by the PC party, Zavitz started clarifying her bizarre comments on wanting to be a black woman. Oh, so this was her making up excuses after she got called out. Got it. Now, speaking to an audience members on the conference last March, Zavitz recalled an exercise she and other participants did in Toronto conference that a decade earlier called Post Secret, according to Radio Canada. Zavitz recalled that members were asked to write down their deepest secrets on a piece of paper, and some were then asked to read theirs to the audience. She said that one audience member admitted to an affair and another spoke about stealing money from their spouse's bank account, but she did not speak at the conference 10 years ago. Zavitz went on to reveal the secret that she wrote down that she wants to be a black woman. "If you don't know me, you might question this. You might wonder if I'm lying or if I really thought this through. If you know me, you'll know 100% for certain it's true," she reportedly said. She said that she often struggles with being labeled a Karen. Is it maybe because you are a Karen? Have you considered just stopping that? A pejorative term for a combative white whammons, and this can hamper her activism to look like I do. That's fine. Just fund someone who doesn't look like you do, though, and you could do your activism by proxy, like all the other rich liberals do. And then you won't have to go out to any of these protests yourself either. Now, the easy answer is that I want to lead the fifth wave of feminazism. Well, talk about main character syndrome. And that when you look like I do, people call you a Karen, is difficult to take seriously as a leader of the fifth wave of feminazism, she told the audience. No, I think any fifth wave feminazi leaders would probably fall into this. Pretty much guarantee. The more complicated answer is I want to know all that I know. I want to be a sociologist and a women's studies professor. I want to be an expert in inequality with lived experiences of poverty and living in addiction and alcoholism. I want to be able to share my ideas out the barrier of looking the way I do. In response to CBC News, Zavitz attempted to clarify the meaning behind her remarks. Well, she had a few days at this point to try to make up an excuse, which is fine. Didn't work, though. So after many online took offense to her noting of addiction and alcoholism as a universal experience of Black women, I know. The point I intended to make was a greater awareness of the lived experience of Black people and communities would improve understanding what it's like to face systemic racism. So apparently addiction and alcoholism are just problems of the Black community then? You just keep digging. I apologize for any harm caused by my remarks. Yeah, when you woke too close to the sun, this is what happens to you. So Zavitz was not previously erected and has worked as a sociology professor at the Western University for the past 20 years. On her LinkedIn, Zavitz writes that she focuses on her teaching on the critical examination of inequities of various forms. So literally useless bloat all around. She added that she serves as the co-executive director of the Gender Equality Coalition of Ontario, internationally advocating for gender justice that encompasses the rights and experiences of men, women, and gender diverse individuals through an intersectional lens. That's all lies. They advocate for female supremacy. Together, we strive to create a more equitable society for all. I'm a diversity, inclusion, and equity advocate, a feminazi, an activist, public speaker, a co-conspirator, collaborator, and leader. Well, you just led your party to a guaranteed loss. Congratulations. But this is from the same country where the prime minister goes around in blackface. So it shouldn't be that big of a... Maybe she did this on purpose. Maybe she was like, well, why can't I make myself black like blackface Hitler did?